There's a food sitting in almost every refrigerator in America right now that most people over 50 are either avoiding completely or eating with a strange sense of guilt. And I want to talk about that today because I think a lot of you have been misled about it for a very long time. That food is the egg. For decades, patients would come into clinics and tell their doctors, I only eat egg whites now, I stay away from the yolk. And when I'd ask why, the answer was almost always the same. Because of cholesterol. That advice was repeated so many times on so many talk shows and so many magazines that it became accepted as fact. Whole generations grew up believing that the yolk of an egg was something dangerous, something to be minimized or avoided altogether. But here's what I want you to understand today. The science on this has shifted, and shifted significantly. And if you're over 50, this is one of those topics worth revisiting, because getting it wrong could mean missing out on one of the most nutrient-dense, accessible foods available to you. Let's start with what happens to the body as we age. Somewhere around our 40s and 50s, the body begins a slow, quiet process of losing muscle mass. This is called sarcopenia, and it doesn't announce itself loudly. It shows up as stairs feeling a little harder to climb, jars feeling a little harder to open, balance feeling just slightly less certain than it used to. Left unaddressed, this loss of muscle can affect mobility, independence, and overall quality of life in the years ahead. This is exactly where protein becomes critical, and eggs happen to contain one of the most complete proteins found in any whole food. They carry all 9 essential amino acids in proportions the body can use efficiently to repair and rebuild muscle tissue. This isn't about building bodybuilder-sized muscles. This is about preserving the strength you need to stay capable, active, and independent as the years go on. Now let's talk about that yolk, the part everyone was told to fear. The yolk contains a nutrient called choline. Choline plays a major role in brain function, supporting memory, focus, and the communication between nerve cells. Most adults, according to nutrition surveys, don't get nearly enough choline in their daily diet, and an egg yolk happens to be one of the richest natural sources of it. The yolk also contains lutein and zeaxanthin, 2 antioxidants that accumulate in the retina of the eye and are associated with protecting long-term vision, particularly as we age. Add to that vitamin B12, vitamin D, selenium, and healthy fat, and you start to see why so many nutrition scientists now consider the egg one of the most nutritionally complete foods available, yolk included, not despite it. So what about the cholesterol concern? Let's actually break that down, because this is where the real confusion lives. Your liver produces cholesterol every single day, regardless of what you eat, because cholesterol is essential to life. It's a building block for hormones. It's part of every cell membrane in your body. It plays a role in producing vitamin D. Cholesterol isn't the villain it was made out to be. It's a necessary molecule your body cannot function without. For most healthy people, research over the past 2 decades has shown that dietary cholesterol from foods like eggs has a much smaller effect on blood cholesterol levels than scientists once assumed. The bigger drivers of heart disease risk tend to be things like ultra-processed foods, excess sugar, chronic inflammation, physical inactivity, poor sleep, and smoking, factors that add up over years, not a single food eaten in moderation. Think about what a typical breakfast looks like for a lot of people. A pastry, a sugary cereal, a muffin, a sweetened coffee. That kind of breakfast spikes blood sugar quickly and leaves you hungry again within a couple of hours. Now compare that to a breakfast built around eggs. The protein slows digestion, stabilizes blood sugar, and keeps you satisfied for hours longer. Many people notice steadier energy throughout the morning simply by making that one swap. A common question I get is, how many eggs a week is actually safe? And honestly, there's no single number that applies to everyone. For most healthy adults, eating eggs several times a week fits comfortably within a balanced diet. Some people eat them daily without issue. Others prefer to eat them less often. The real question isn't how many eggs. The real question is, what are the eggs replacing? If eggs are replacing a bowl of sugary cereal or a processed pastry, you are almost certainly making the healthier choice. You don't need an expensive supplement or the latest trending powder to support your health after 50. Often the answer is something much simpler, a whole real food that's been sitting on grocery store shelves the entire time. That's why eggs remain, in my view, one of the most underrated foods for anyone over 50 who wants to support muscle strength, brain function, eye health, and steady energy as the years go on. So here's my challenge for you this week. Instead of pushing the yolk aside or skipping eggs altogether out of old habit, try including a few whole eggs in your meals over the next several days. Pay attention to how you feel. Notice your energy levels. Notice whether your hunger feels more stable throughout the morning. Sometimes the answers your body gives you are more convincing than any headline ever could be. If this video helped clear up some of the confusion, let me know in the comments. And as always, take care of yourself and make it a great day.